Hey, it's Jay from Team 125 Overland. And you know, I got some flack the other day when I put out a video about a trip I took to Ludington, and I said I hated Michigan at the end. And I thought it was funny. So I thought I'm going to make a follow-up video for that. So here we are recording from the wonderful confines of my 4Runner. And here's why I hate Michigan, okay? If all my friends know this, I've lived here for 41 years, almost 42, and I cannot wait to get the hell out of this state. I hate it. So I've been thinking about the reasons why, because I figured I should tell you. And by all means, if you argue with me, if you think otherwise, more power to you. If my facts are wrong, cool, then maybe you can correct me. But here's the reason why I hate this state. The first off, it's the roads. Michigan is under construction all the time. Currently, we have 75, which is a major highway that goes through Michigan. It's been closed for, I want to say now, close to 2 years. It's the major highway. It's southbound. It's been closed for 2 years. Now, this highway, it was closed not more than 6 years ago for like 2 or 3 years. It's always closed. There's not a major highway that currently doesn't have construction on it. Most of the major streets, construction. We have 2 seasons here we laugh about in Michigan, winter and construction. That used to be the case when I was a kid. It used to be at least a separation where winter was a construction. Now it's just construction. It is construction year-round. Wherever you go, it is construction. It is astronomical. That, you know, like being said, makes everything driving hell. Like, I live on this one street where I have to take, you got 2 options to take these 2 big roads. Because 75 shut down, everyone takes the street. I literally will sit here on a street, on a regular old city street, and just sit in traffic non-stop every day, a mile away from house, and I cannot get home. The construction is the worst. The second thing is the roads. I hate the roads. You'd think that a state that has construction year-round would have decent roads. Our roads suck. There was a news story about a street in Detroit that was so bad that they just had to just shut it down because it was just that bad. And I drove down it, and it was a joke. 2 miles an hour is all you can go, and this lasted for miles. The roads are astronomically bad. The potholes are, you can't even imagine, 2-3 feet deep, 4 feet wide, and they will, it's amazing how many people's cars break during the winter here. Additionally too, about the roads, all we use is sand or salt. Our vehicles rot, like rot. I have a lot of money in my Silverado, and I'm seeing Silverados around me like the same year that are rotting already because of the level of salt. Why put all this money into an overlanding vehicle when it's just gonna rot? That being said, I want to move to Arizona because vehicles don't rot there. You have an indoor or enclosed garage. No, they don't rot. You can have a vehicle last forever. And that's another thing too, you're saving money, okay? If I have a 4Runner and I buy a 4Runner and I pay it off, and mechanically I can maintain that vehicle forever and it never rusts, I don't need another vehicle. I'm a mechanic. So why would I want to continually do that? Vehicles here, 7 years and they start to rust. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. Another reason is the housing costs, okay? I've been looking at real estate between here and Arizona, and for what you can buy here for $350, you can buy in Arizona for $300 or $250. It's way cheaper, and you get more of a house. The housing development over there is much newer, so you can get a nicer house, a better house. Not to mention, I don't think anybody realizes how populated Michigan is. Go anywhere. Go to like, you know, up north, and Michiganders are always all about up north. But you go up there, it's just, if it's populated. Everywhere you look is a house. Until you get in the UP, it is the house. So, I mean, it really is bad. It's just like you don't get any areas that aren't unpopulated. You don't see that natural scenic beauty. The area. Michigan is supposed to be super pretty. It's not. The mitten sucks. Yeah, when you get to the beach, but the beaches themselves, when you get to the beach, they're overcrowded, they're overpopulated, everyone's got real estate on there. There's no fun beach. I mean, yeah, you'll find it's not like saying that there's no exception to the rule. There's nothing scenic in the mitten, but they're just, overall, the mitten just is not, there's not a lot of great stuff for there. You know, when the UP is an exception, the UP is stunning still, but nobody lives there. It's amazing up there, but nobody is up there. It's like, it is still wilderness. Okay, and from Detroit, it's a 5-hour ride. All right. Geographically speaking, there's nothing around here. See, if you live in, like, let's say Arizona, you've got New Mexico, you've got Utah, you've got Nevada, you've got all these surrounding states that are very scenic and beautiful, and you've got things to see, the Grand Canyon. You can go to Texas. I know that you've got this area that's almost like a central hub of just amazing things. Michigan, you're surrounded by Ohio and Indiana. Have you ever been to Ohio and Indiana? I mean, have you? It's like they're a notch above Nebraska. Sorry, Ohio. Sorry, Indiana. But no, they're not that. It's just the same thing. Yeah, there's things to see, but I mean, like, once those things are you're missing that natural beauty of just like what the America is. I know from traveling across the U.S., I can tell you that America is a lot more beautiful than this area. But let's talk about the weather, okay? Michigan's weather is the worst. We have the second coldest winters. We are rated as the second lowest in sunlight. So, which means that next, I want to stay behind Minnesota. We don't ever see the sun. We never see the sun. There's just no sunlight. It's miserable. Like, our summers are great here because we never get one. And then, like, the days that we have that's amazing, it's like, wow. And I'll be honest with you, I like snow. I love snow. I really do. Guess what we don't get? Snow. And I know some people argue that, no, Minnesota gets snow. Wisconsin gets snow. We get cold effect, which just means we have miserable, gray, slushy-ass winter. And we may get 6 to 7 snowstorms a year, maybe a couple 8-inch, 10-inch snowstorms. No, it's just a nasty 7 to 8 month process. You can't use a pool. There's no reason to buy a pool. But let's talk about some of the financial aspects. So let's talk about the financial aspects. I have full coverage on my truck and my 4Runner. My truck is just insured for what its value, not even for all the shit I put into it. And I have a perfect driving record. I have good credit. I pay $396 a month. $396 a month for 2 cars. Yeah. And that's because of Michigan no fault. Okay? Michigan no fault sucks. All right? They gouge us. And I work with no fault, and I understand it just sucks. Okay? We're getting gouged here in Michigan. Everyone knows it. We're getting gouged. Let's talk about utilities. Okay? Gas and electric. Nightmare. Okay? I have a small house, and the winter we just had, which was no snow, it was just cold. I had a $400 bill last winter, one for a tiny 1,050 square foot house with gas. Now you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, your house isn't insulated." No, I built my house. It's insulated correctly. It sucks. It's just that goddamn cold. So you kind of sum that up. So if I go to Arizona, which is always sunny, I can get solar power. I can save myself electricity bills every month, okay? I can save myself the cost of my insurance. I can save myself, get a better deal on housing. When I buy a house, I won't be living next to somebody 5 feet away. There's things to do aside from going up north. What are you going to do this weekend? We're going up north because that's all we have to do here. What are you going to see? Trees, okay? Well, what's really up north? More trees. Maybe what are you going to do? We're going to go to the lake. What else do you want to do? Maybe we can go to another lake and drink. That's all we have to do. Okay? Yeah. You know, the economy sucks. If you live in Detroit, Detroit's a shithole. I mean, if you've ever been through Detroit, Detroit is a shithole, and it's a spreading shithole. I remember growing up in my neighborhood, which is a suburb of Detroit, and at the time, it was a decent place. Now it's gotten to the point where I don't even want to live in my neighborhood. I was going to give my house to my daughter. No, fuck that. It's just a shithole. So yeah, I mean, I have no love for Michigan. I don't. I hate it. I hate being cooped up all winter. I hate not being able to do anything. I hate my vehicles rusting outside. I hate the bills that I pay for living here. I hate the housing costs. I don't want to live 5 feet away from somebody. I think the traffic sucks. I think the driving sucks. I think it's boring. I think it's nasty. And I think it's depressing. And I think it's just gross. Health-wise, even if you look at the conditions of seasonal affective disorder, okay, the depression that comes with the state, it's astronomical. Compare it to fucking Colorado. Look at Colorado. Compare the rate of diabetes for Michigan for Colorado. I believe it's 11% of the population here has diabetes. Colorado, 0. Which means that they don't have necessarily an absolute 0. They have a number so low that it can't count it. They don't take in terms. That's because they have good, fun weather they can do activities to, and other things you can do outside. You can't do them here in Michigan. I mean, what can I do? Walk in the park? So, you know, maybe you love Michigan. Maybe this is the place for you, and God bless you. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I'd say what, I would love to hear from people who agree. I would love to people who disagree and call me out on my bullshit. I know this is what I see. I'd love to hear some opinions on it. I'd love to hear some overlanding opinions on it. Because as an overlander, I don't think this is a great state for it. I think there's some clubs here that are great. I like to get to know more of them. But overall, yeah, I cannot wait to get out of here. There's actually a counter on my phone counting down graduation, and I'm counting down the 4 years I plan on being out of Michigan. So if you think otherwise, by all means, let me know your opinion. Thanks. We'll talk to you later.